Hey guys, it's Alex. So today, I know I missed yesterday. That kind of was intentional. I thought about taking video yesterday and making video yesterday and stuff, but I kind of think I've decided that video-wise, Sundays will be like reflection days kind of things, or possibly bigger content sort of things, like I don't know, more extensive, better breakdowns or something like that. And I'm not exactly sure yet, but Sunday not making video was intentional. Anyway, so today's video, I'm still trying to decide exactly which one I want to cover, because there's two things I want to cover, and I'm actually in the middle of the lane. I don't understand, but but there's two things I want to cover, but I would rather save one for another day than try to cover both in a short video like this. So I think we'll go with assessing priorities. So one second here. Okay, so every Sunday, most Sundays, I take my dog for a walk, usually in a park or along a trail or something like that, just to kind of, I'm gone a lot during the week, and he sits in it, or well, he doesn't sit in his cage anymore, but he stays at home a lot, and usually for 10-12 hours a day he's just hanging out in the house by himself, probably just sleeping and stuff like that. And oh god, my head's getting cut off there. I'm in the lane, calm down. So I take him for a walk, and it's like we go along the trails, and like usually it's one of the local parks or something like that, and he likes to break off and explore while we're walking, and he'll like go just start sniffing something and get distracted sniffing something. And I used to kind of get annoyed by it, because it's just kind of like I'm walking, and you keep stopping me kind of thing. And but yesterday I got annoyed by it, and then I kind of was like, wait a second, what I had to reassess my priorities about it. It's like, wait a second, why are we here? We're here for him to walk. Like, I get a benefit from it too, obviously, because A, I'm walking, and B, I'm hanging out with my puppy. But like, I'm not there to finish a marathon in 5 minutes, or but I'm not there to finish the walk quickly or to get it done or whatever. I'm there to take him for a walk, let him play, let him enjoy himself, let him explore. Sorry, my camera keeps slipping. I need to get a mount still, but but I'm there for his enjoyment. I mean, I'd be there without him if it wasn't for him. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, I don't bring him and then just try to do the same thing. I go for a walk specifically with him and stuff like that. So I was walking with him, and I realized this, and like, it used to kind of stress me out when we'd be walking, because I'd always be like, oh god, stopping and being annoyed and stuff like that. And I'm not even out of the lane. Stop. I wish you could turn that off. If there is somebody from Subaru watching, tell me how to turn that off. I don't ever leave the lane enough that it matters, and it's beeping at me. It's probably just because it's like I occasionally angle toward it or something like that, but that's just how I stay away from other cars, because when I'm in 2-lane traffic, I like to stay as far away from them as I can by exiting, or by kind of riding the shoulder a little bit. But anyway, so normally I'm kind of annoyed, and it kind of stresses me out and stuff, and yesterday I just kind of again, I don't understand. But yesterday I just kind of reassessed my priorities. I was like, I'm here for him. I'm here because I want him to enjoy himself, and I want him to get to go for a walk, and I want him to be happy and stuff like that. So I started just thinking about it that way, and not stressing about the fact that he's pulling me this way or constantly stopping or something, and just letting him do it, letting him explore. And I have to say, it was one of the best walks I feel like we've had in a while, because it was just like he was having fun and he was bouncing around and he kept like randomly picking up the pace and running a little bit to get to things, and he was just enjoying himself so much, and it made me so happy. So I mean, I would suggest looking at life like that, you know, like if you trying to think of another example. That one was a specifically important example to me, but there's surely other ones. Like, you know, I'll just cover the other topic too while we're here. Because this went really closely with the other topic. So the other topic is accepting things as they come. And that's not to say, you know, don't try to change your life, don't try to make more money, don't try to do this or that, don't try to lose weight. You know, it's not that stuff. That stuff is all very important. Anything you can change, attempt to change it. And anything you feel is important to change, attempt to change it. That was an important distinction, because like one of the things I thought about was, you know, my first topic here is, you know, like assessing your priorities so that so that you can accept what's coming, basically. But so that like I assessed my priorities and decided that the dog should be allowed to explore and play and stuff more. So then, you know, I didn't so then I wasn't spending my time trying to correct the behavior and stuff, which I could have done. I probably could try to correct the behavior, but it's more important to me in that case to let him play and let him have fun. So that's how I make that distinction. It's not important because I reassessed my priorities and figured out that my priority was to let him play. If my priority was to run really fast and just to bring him with me, then either I would have to say he has to change his behavior, or I have to not bring him, or something like that. But that's why when I'm going to do biking, or when I go for a run or something like that, I will take him for a walk first or after, and then go for a run separately, because I know that he won't keep up properly. So sometimes I take him for a run, but I'm also a little leery about making him run long distances. But there was a lot of this that came out yesterday, because the park that we go to has some like swampy areas that are kind of just wet and stuff, so there's a lot of bugs that fly around and a lot of like little bugs that buzz around and stuff like that, and those always annoy the hell out of me. I put on bug spray so that it's, you know, so that I can kind of combat that a little bit, and I obviously don't want to put it on my face, but I usually do this and then just kind of spray it over my hand so that it blocks like my face, my nose, and my mouth, but it sprays around the perimeter of my face, and I tend to put a good bit of it on, you know, just kind of trying to stop the bugs, but they still come, and it annoys the hell out of me. And I realized yesterday, this also kind of came from watching 300 again, and the second 300 movie. I'm kind of trying to Spartanize a little bit and just kind of trying to focus more on becoming okay with becoming tougher, you know, and I've talked about this before, cultivating toughness and stuff like that, but watching 300 kind of recentered me a little bit, and, you know, so at one point I decided that there was this little bug buzzing around in my face, and I swatted at him, and I like smacked myself a little bit, and I was kind of angry because I couldn't get him, but I kept like smacking myself or inconveniencing myself or jerking myself and stuff like that, and he kept buzzing around my face, and I was really annoyed. And then I was just like, you know what, this is nature. And then I had the same thought about like a spider web that was in my way. I was like, this is nature, this is why I'm here, you know, this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to experience nature. And then I realized, like, if I just accept these things as they come, if I just focus and decide to accept these things as they come, then it won't stress me out that this is happening. I'll just see it, let it pass. It's also a very Buddhist principle. I don't know how much Buddhism you guys have studied or anything like that, but Buddhism isn't really a religion. It's more like there's no God. I mean, some of them have God. Like, some of them have the Buddha that you kind of pay homage to or something like that. But the ultimate, like, principle, the ultimate focus is just, understanding yourself, understanding life, well, lack of self, but understanding your world and accepting it as they come and not reacting, controlling you and controlling your emotions, stuff like that. Kind of very stoic as well. So, like, I realized, like, just accepting it as it comes will lessen the amount that it bothers me, because one of the things that bothers me so much about this stupid little fly buzzing in my face is I can't make it stop. Oh, sorry, ran out of breath. Is that I can't make it stop, So, like, if I stop focusing on making it stop and start focusing on just accepting it, then I can see that it's, and I can see, and then I can stop focusing on it, I guess, and I can stop feeling defeated every time, and I can stop feeling angry that I keep being defeated. So, that's the other tip. And again, that doesn't apply to just everything. It's not just, well, I'm 38 or 40 pounds overweight. And I have been for most of my life. I guess there's no reason to try to change it now. No, like, stuff like that is entirely changeable. There might be some genetic reason that you have some issues and it might require more work, but in a huge amount of cases, that's just an excuse, and if it requires more work, it requires more work, it's worth it, so, or like, oh, I don't have any money ever. That's not a reason, and I've been broke for my entire life, and I have a bunch of credit card debt. That's not like necessarily reflective of me. I'm just making up bad scenarios that people might find defeatist mentalities about, but that's not a reason to look at it and go, well, I guess I'll just stay like that. So then what you would do there is just approach it and, fix it, kind of thing. But it's not like the fly buzzing in your face that you're just kind of like, I am not leaving the lane for any reason except the guy next to me is. I don't know how to solve that for you, car. Like that. I make it more fun to myself that the thing is beeping at me than it is like annoying or stressful to me. Like the kind of stuff that you just really can't change. I mean, I might be able to like cover myself with some sort of bug mask or just coat my face with bug spray, or I don't really know how else to solve the bug issue. There doesn't seem to be many ways to solve the bug issue. But like I could possibly offer myself some solution, at least in the bug problem. But like ultimately it's very difficult to solve, and it's not really worth taking the steps that I have to take. And like the car thing, I stay in my lane most of the time. If I drift to the side, it's usually because there's a car next to me that I don't want to be near. He's swerving, or he's in my lane a little bit, or something like that, and there's probably some way to turn it off, I'd have to assume, because, like, if not, I'm not going to say that. But there's probably some way to turn it off, I'd assume. But I don't need to take the steps to turn it off because, well, because it's not my car, so I will be giving it back someday, hopefully. And not that I don't like it, I would prefer to live without the beeping. But so if I just make fun of it, like make it its problem, that it's just kind of neurotic about my lane staying or something like that, and just kind of laugh at it when it does that, then I get less stressful about it. It's not, I'm not sitting here going, what do you mean? I'm just sitting here like smiling and chuckling about the fact that it's yelling at me for leaving my lane when I'm really not, I'm like, so I don't know. I mean, that's what I would focus on. So to recap, focus on, let's make it one tip. If you have an issue with something, reassess the priorities. If when you reassess your priorities, you come up understanding that the thing you shouldn't worry about changing the thing, then don't worry about changing it and accept it as it comes. So there you go. I mean, if you one more example, let's try to think of one. Traffic. Yeah, perfect example. Because I rage about traffic, you rage about traffic. I'd like to find somebody who doesn't and isn't just doing it to try to be a better person. Because I know people like that, and it's kind of annoying. Who are just like, oh, don't get stressed about it. You understand? It's like you're just trying to be better than me, and I understand that because that's your way, whatever. But anyway, that was a weird tangent. Anyway, so traffic. You're stuck in traffic. You're stuck behind a bunch of slow people who won't drive faster. It's happening right now. And I can see this, and it's like I feel it building in me, the annoyance. Like, I'm annoyed with these people because for some reason, like, these 3 people won't get out of the left lane, right? So then I look. My priority is to get to work on time. I look at my watch. I see it's 9:30. I have plenty of time to make the 5 to 10 minute drive from where I'm at to work. I'll reassess the time thing in a minute. So then in this case, I really can't change it anyway. So there's no reason really to reassess my priorities even. But I know that my main priority will be completed either way, so there's no reason to get stressed out about it. Okay, so now I look at my watch and it's 9:58. Let's go with 9:53. So if the trip from where I'm at now to where I am headed takes me 5 minutes, I have 2 minutes to walk into the building and get on the elevator and get to work and be there on time, in time for the 10 o'clock. But if these people are driving slowly in front of me, so it takes me 8 minutes, then I will be about 3 or 4 minutes late for 10 o'clock. So that, I reassess that priority, right? This is a really good example too because it covers both instances. I reassess that and I look at that and I say, okay, my goal is to get to work on time. These people are stopping the problem, but they're kind of immutable. They're immobile. I can't change the fact that they're there. I can't change the fact that they're driving slowly. I could stress myself out trying to find a gap in where they are, and I could get around them, and normally I would do that, but I've reassessed my priority, and I look at it and I say, you know what? Being late isn't going to kill me this one time, but in the future I should focus on getting out of the house earlier so that instead I'm sitting here at 9:30 in this situation with plenty of time to cover the 5, 10 or 15 minute trip that it might cause because of this traffic. So lastly, you look at it and you say, okay, it's 9:58 and I have 5 minutes of travel time, or I have 5 to 10 minutes of travel time. These people are in front of me, and so you look at it and you say, okay, it's 9:58. I'm going to be at least 3 minutes late, and these people are slowing me down, so I could be anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes late. 7 to 10 minutes late, and you're like, so then you look at it and you're like, okay, well, that's gonna suck, but you don't have an option. There is no solution to that. Again, you could focus on is it saying night? Holy shit, I've been talking for 19 minutes, I'm sorry. But you could focus on trying to find a gap in their traffic patterns or something like that and just get around them. But ultimately, that's just going to stress you out, and the chances of that helping or working are very low, because if you think about it this way, if you drive 60 miles an hour, I don't want to have to do the math in my head right now. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. So if you drive 60 miles an hour the entire time, on a 60-mile trip, it'll take you an hour to get there. If you drive 90 miles an hour on a 60-mile trip, it'll take you 45 minutes to get there. I believe that math could be right. But, so you're only saving 15 minutes, not doubling your speed, 150%ing your speed. And it's, it's not sustainable, because you're going to get pulled over, or you're going to get stuck in traffic where the people are driving slowly anyway, and it's just not sustainable. So those are your options, and those are the times you just kind of accept what's coming. Again, if you're 3 minutes late already, then you should focus on leaving earlier. And you should focus on leaving the house earlier and stuff like that, so that you can be on time to work instead of late. Which I am saying this as somebody who is trying to do it, not as somebody who has achieved this now, because I tell you what, it is 9:30 now, but last Monday was like the only time that I was early for work, because every other day I found some excuse or some reason to be late. So I'm trying to do it as I'm telling you how to do it, but that's what this channel is about. This channel is about improving myself and then telling you my plans on doing it, and reiterating a lot of research that I've done. So there you go. Okay, guys, I should sign off. It's probably like almost 22 minutes. So I hope you guys gained something from this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you guys for watching. You guys are effing amazing, and I'll see you tomorrow.